Hello YouTube, thank you for stopping by. As always, please click like if you happen to enjoy this video, please click on subscribe, and if you would like to be notified when I publish future videos, just click on that bell-shaped notify button. Additionally, I'd love to hear from you, so be sure to leave me a comment and please share this video with anyone else you think might enjoy it as well. Alrighty then. In this video, I'm replacing the filter head assembly on my LG refrigerator. My understanding is that this design is similar and in some cases exactly like other refrigerator manufacturers like GE, Maytag, Whirlpool, and others. Simply put, if your filter looks like mine, these instructions will probably work for you as well. Anyways, I hope you find this video informative. My wife and I really like the look of the black stainless kitchen appliances from LG, and so far we've been really happy with all the LG products. This being said, I do have an issue with their fridge filter system. Apparently, it's more problematic than one might expect. When the refrigerator was first installed, fresh out of the box, the very first filter was a bit of a hassle for me to install. But I got it in, labeled it with the date I wanted to replace it by, and I wrote off the difficulties I had as being due to my inexperience with the whole process. A little less than 6 months later, I decided I had to order some additional filters. The fridge only came with one, of course. So I bought a 3-pack of compatible filters off of Amazon due to the high price of the OEM LG filters. When I got them, I couldn't get the replacement filter to seat properly, and it kept popping off the moment water pressure was restored. I was pissed. I boxed them up and returned them to Amazon for a refund, gave them a crappy review, and ordered a competitor's brand of compatible filters. But unfortunately, I had the exact same problem with this set of filters as well. Just to be sure, I verified my refrigerator's model number, and I bought a 2-pack of the OEM LG filters for twice the cost of a compatible 3-pack, but same problem. I just couldn't understand it. I was still able to remove and replace the very first LG filter with no problem, and the replacement filters all appeared to be more or less identical, with one notable exception. These are 2 OEM LG water filters, and they have the exact same part numbers. The one on the left is the one that came with the fridge, while the one on the right is the brand new OEM LG filter. Note the very center of the filter. Apparently, the first filter, to the left, was damaged when I installed it, and I probably broke the filter head, the socket that the filter plugs into, at that same time. Or the filter head was defective from the start, and it is what damaged the refrigerator filter when I installed it. Yeah, I like the sound of that better. Let's go with that. To quote a phrase made popular by Adam Savage of Mythbusters fame, I reject your reality and substitute my own. Anyways, after doing some research online, I find out that a lot of people have problems with these filter heads. Apparently, the very center of the filter head, the red arrow, should be able to rotate 90 degrees as a filter is installed. If the tabs are in the wrong position, the filter will not seat properly. The solution is to take a pair of long and narrow needle nose pliers and rotate that center piece to the correct position, and then the filter should install just fine. Well, it turns out that my filter head was jammed, and I could not get the center ring to rotate. So I ordered a replacement filter head assembly, and upon arrival, I immediately tested the replacement filter head with the 2 filters that wouldn't seat properly, and they both seated just fine. I'm obviously on the right track this time. Anyways, the very first filter still works, as it's screwed up just enough that it will still mate and seat into the screwed up filter head. Long story short, I was a bit burned out by the whole situation at this point, and I figured I'd get to it eventually. A few months later, my wife places the replacement filter head assembly on my desk as a reminder. Okay, message received. Turns out we've been using that first filter for a year now. The actual replacement procedure for the filter head assembly isn't that difficult and shouldn't take very long. I did have one minor issue that was probably of my own creation and which was easily rectified, but I'll talk about that later. At a minimum, you will need a Phillips screwdriver and a crescent wrench, although it's probably good to have a towel and a bowl available to drain water into, as well as a vacuum and maybe some electrical tape. Okay, so Step 1 is to gain access to the back of the fridge. In a narrow galley kitchen like mine, it probably would have been better to rotate the fridge once I had it moved out of the way, but it was easy enough for me to move, so I just moved it back and forth as needed. After vacuuming behind the fridge, I got myself and my tools situated behind it. Step 2, turn off the water to the fridge. If you don't have a cut-off valve right behind the fridge, you'll have to turn off the water to the house. Step 3, once the water is turned off, release the pressure in the fridge water lines by using the water dispenser. Step 4, disconnect the electrical cord. Remember that water and electricity don't mix. Step 5, use the crescent wrench and disconnect the water supply line from the fridge. You will probably want the towel and a bowl available when you do this. Step 6, use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the screws holding the back cover in place. Be careful not to lose any of the screws removed during any of these steps. Step 7, place the back cover out of the way so it will not get stepped on or otherwise damaged. It's quite thin. Step 8, inspect the insides. If it's dusty, go ahead and clean it up with the vacuum. I'm sure the fridge will work more efficiently as a result. Step 9, remove the water filter and put it somewhere to drain out so it won't make a mess. You now have access to the filter head assembly, but you have to remove the filter head support frame and the filter cover next. Step 10, remove the screw holding the filter head support and filter cover, keeping in mind that you will need to provide some slack in the water tube lines before you can slide the frame forward to disengage it from the top of the refrigerator. So only remove the screw at this point and don't do anything else yet. Step 11, remove the screw holding the solenoid actuated water supply valve assembly. Looks like I should have done a better job with the vacuum. Step 12, remove the screws holding the water tube anchors to the back of the fridge. There is a small locking tab that can be released fairly easily to allow these anchors to open up. This tube leads from the solenoid actuated water supply valve assembly up to the top corner of this fridge and brings water to the filter head assembly. Step 13, remove and retain the locking clip from the solenoid actuated water supply valve assembly. Note to self, get rid of the dust before taking pictures next time. Step 14, depress the release ring and pull out the water pipe leading to the top of the fridge. You will probably want that bowl and/or towel handy. Step 15, remove the water tube cover up at the top of the fridge. Note that there are two tubes coming through the same hole up at the top corner. They are both part of the filter head assembly. The long tube connects to the solenoid actuated water supply valve assembly down at the bottom and supplies input water to the filter, while the shorter tube is the output from the filter, connects to a Y adapter which supplies filtered water to the water dispenser in the fridge door, the tube going up to the left, as well as to the ice maker, the tube going back down to the bottom. Step 16. Remove the locking clip, if any, then depress the release ring and pull the short tube out of the Y adapter. Step 17. Go ahead and try to feed these tubes through that hole and into the fridge part way. If there's any resistance, slide the filter head support frame and cover assembly forward a couple inches to get it to release from the top inside of the fridge. Step 18. Carefully guide the water tubes through the back of the fridge and out the front. If the longer tube gets stuck, you might have to help guide it through the hole from the back side of the fridge again. Step 19. Compare the old and new filter head assemblies to assure that they are indeed identical and that the length of the water tubes are the same. Longer tubes on the replacement filter head assembly are probably okay. Step 20. Make note of how the filter head assembly is mounted to the filter head support frame, and then carefully remove it, being careful not to damage the support frame itself. I tried once again to rotate that inner ring on the filter head assembly. No joy. Step 21. Carefully remove the foam rubber seal from the old water tubes, making note of its location on the tubes. The foam rubber is held on with tape. Remove it carefully so as not to damage the foam rubber itself. Although the foam rubber itself can be reused, the tape cannot. I'll be using electrical tape instead. Step 22. If your unit has a spring to help protect and support the water tube at the valve end to help keep it from kinking, be sure to retain it and transfer it to the new tube. That spring is also held in place with tape that I was not able to reuse, so again, I will be using electrical tape. Step 23. Carefully slide the replacement filter head assembly into the support frame. I noticed that there was a mark on the old tube right where the foam rubber seal was located, so I checked the replacement water tube and it also had the same mark, so I positioned the foam gasket at that spot. Step 24. Secure the foam rubber seal in place with electrical tape. Step 25. From the inside of the refrigerator, slide the tubes through the hole and out the back of the fridge. Note the plastic tabs circled in red. These are the rear supports for the filter head support frame. Step 26. Reposition the support frame and slide it into place so that the retaining screw can be screwed back in to secure it. If the hole in the support frame doesn't line up with the screw hole in the fridge, or if the support frame doesn't sit flush against the inside top of the fridge, it's not lined up properly. Try again to avoid damaging the support frame or the rear frame support tabs before screwing the frame into place. Step 27. Reconnect the short water tube to the Y adapter. Ensure that it is fully seated. Look for the marks on the tube. Replace the locking clip as well if there was one. Step 28. Reattach the upper water tube cover. Be sure not to over-tighten the screws as you are screwing them into thin sheet metal. Step 29. Grab the water tube anchors and screw them into place. Be sure not to over-tighten the screws as you are screwing them into thin sheet metal. I connected the longer tube to the solenoid-actuated water supply valve assembly, being sure to get it inserted completely, and then replace the locking clip, but it was at this point that I noticed that something was off. Although the tubes were the same length on the old and replacement water filter head assembly, I apparently didn't have enough length to have a nice curved bend and instead kinked the water tube right at the solenoid-actuated water supply valve. If I wasn't paying attention, I would have missed it and I would have been scratching my head due to the water flow problems that would have resulted. So I went to Home Depot and picked up a 5/16 inch barrel coupling connector for the water tube, which allowed me to add a few inches of the original water tube to the end of the new one after cutting out the kinked part. I went ahead and took the section of the original tube that already had a nice curve to it. Okay, so I guess step 30 is lengthen the water tube if necessary to avoid kinking it and replace the tube protection spring, anchoring it in place with electrical tape. Step 31. Reconnect the water tube to the solenoid-actuated water supply valve assembly, ensuring that the tube is inserted completely, and then reinsert the locking clip. Step 32. Reposition the solenoid-actuated water supply valve assembly, ensuring that the tubes and wires are all routed well, and screw it back into place. Step 33. Reattach the rear cover and screw it back into place. Be sure not to over-tighten the screws as you are screwing them into thin sheet metal. Step 34. Reattach the water supply line. Step 35. Install the new filter. Step 36. Turn the water back on and look for leaks. Step 37. Reconnect the power and push the refrigerator back into position. Step 38. Close the filter cover after checking for more leaks. Step 39. Purge the air out of the water line and run a couple quarts through the new filter. Watch for leaks. Step 40. Clear the Replace Filter notification if you see it. That's it. We're done. We're good to go. Okay, I guess that's it for this video. Remember, please click like if you happened to enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, I'd really appreciate it if you would please click on subscribe. And if you would like to be notified when I publish future videos, just click on that bell-shaped notify button. Additionally, I'd love to hear from you, so be sure to leave me a comment and please share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it as well. Bye for now.